invite 4 of my aunts and uncles up. Katie Darring Collins, my mother, Julie Andrianopoulos, John Darring, and Ann Darring.
This is the menopausal apocalyptic blues. A song to myself. I need it. This blue sheet of warranty was lifted from the box of my new freezer that just came in. I chased the kids away and sat it in myself. Daddy's sitting in the box now. Well, it's my turn, damn it. There ought to be a poem about all the odd moments when nothing is happening. When the president himself yawns and opens and hopes whoever's starving will do so quietly. Ours is a century of the dead. Millions crammed in trenches under fires. Millions in great cities bombed. Millions marched and exhausted in the fields of dust. Million more seats set to freeze in prisons. Jesus, millions. What is a man's worth? I grow old. I grow dreamy. I roll my head along the corrugated wall. And I breathe in this cardboard box. Dusty but clean, myself. But don't be fooled. Any minute now, the phone will ring. Time's up. Everybody into the meat grinder. Tumble in, head first, feet flailing. A devil's pooping me in the ass. So anyway, I celebrate my life. Millions of such moments, all dead. Some undetermined number of yet to be born. One going on this one. Nothing is happening, thank God.
In the utility room, against the wall on the shelf, above the washing machine, beside a row of paint cans and a jar of nails, this chest, this tool chest, this metal chest of drawers, less than a foot tall, has 15 plastic drawers. These rows of 5, 3 rows of 5, each roughly 1 inch deep and 2 5/8 inches wide. Well, clearly not a tool chest. With no room for boxes, sockets, or anything really useful, it has never been useful. The things you find in there, leftover bits and pieces of past jobs, old screws mostly, eye hooks, cotter pins, crochet boxes, copper hinges. Not that I would ever use one, but close. I dream of the day I have a need for something small. My job breaks down without it. The day wears on with searching until the store is closed. My friends have never heard of such a thing. And at my wit's end, and then it occurs to me, there it is, all right, way back in the 15th drawer, just what I needed. I think of it every time. What bliss when I have found such use for life. Knitting the loose ends of my days together to make sense of things. When the screw fits, which chance connects, the science seems not as sure as luck. And happy the hopeful things for which these possibilities exist.
This poem speaks to me a little bit, and my Unitarian Universalist self. This is a poem Baku wrote. Looks to me about having nice, peaceful conversations about religion. Curses, foiled again. Impervious to appeal, she sat, cross-armed, cross-legged, deadpan expression and all that, as if to seduce her I had begged. Only for liberties I'd take with God's commandments. Evolution is not an act of faith you make, but a problem's down to the earth's solution. Oh yes it is, and no it isn't, her eyes say, though her lips are sealed. In enemy territory she doesn't want to commit to war, nor you. He too, wary of godless science, lets body language speak. Head bowed, not meekly, but in meek defiance, says this should not be allowed. Nobody should be forced to believe either theory. Students should study the Bible story of Adam and Eve and how we came from a monkey. I lead them on with gentle patience to see this is not as polemic sport, Darwin versus Christian science, conscious, but as discovery of the sort. Regardless of which approach I take, innocence, their sword and shield, thwarts my advance, and like a snake, my mind recoils and leaves the field.
This poem is called The Sincere Atheist, and it is under a subsection of his collection called Poems from Adolescence. So this is something he wrote when he was very, very young. Last night I sat complacently beneath an overspreading tree beside the vast and restless sea to learn of our world. Was quite impressed by every star, the ocean's roar resounding far, the forest where the shadows are, and tree tops moonlight pearl. Despite this dark, enchanting beauty, I believe with right and duty, there is no God above. And watched it I till morning's light to see the sun begin its flight, which started day and into night from mortals here below. The brilliant color, golden red, pierced the clouds with crimson thread, dyed the earth from overhead with its inspiring glow. Yet in the stately majesty, I reaffirm with certainty, there is no God above. Long I thought with much decision on the rushing star's precision, traveling on without collision in the dark and empty space. And again I see the size of every star that lights the sky, and all our thinking it defies, that each one keeps its place. Though these things I understand, still my conscience does demand, there is no God above. These enigmas so involved have by learned men been solved, saying that all things evolve from a speck of dust, that beauty's a coincidence, precision, but an accident, and all the rest development,
evolving as they must. Then who had made that thus to start? To this I can make no retort, and yet I trust with all my heart, there is no God above.
Our next speaker attended writing classes with Walt and is the father-in-law of another of Bapu's many adopted children, Tommy Luther. This is Mr. Ted Pitzios.